to the TokyoBill Weekly Update, an end-of-week news brief on events in and around Japan. Today is April 19th, 2025. Tokyo Craft Beer Week begins on Thursday, with participating craft beer pubs able to stamp your beer passport and offering prizes. As part of the regional promotion, Saturday and Sunday will see a collaboration event between Japanese brewers and Oregon State brewers to be held at Shibuya Stream Hall, called Hood to Fuji. The name reflects the great volcanoes Mount Hood and Mount Fuji, of course. 3 sessions will be held each day, and I'm not sure if all 50 brewers will be present for each session, but it's too late to get advance tickets. General tickets and more information available at hoodtofuji.com. And onto the news. The World Expo opened in Japan on Sunday, featuring 160 countries showcasing their technology, culture, and food. Some attractions include a Mars meteorite, an artificial heart, and Hello Kitty figures made from algae. The event is set within a unique wooden structure called the Grand Ring, representing unity among cultures. However, messaging and symbolism from some nations like Palestine and Ukraine remind us of various current global tensions. And while a key theme of the Expo is sustainability, criticisms have arisen over the temporary nature of Expo sites, with less than 15% of the structures expected to be reused. Interest in attendance is low, with only 8.7 million tickets sold so far, below expectations. Otaru is a beautiful city in Hokkaido, known for its canal district and stunning views from Funamizaka. However, the city faces issues with over-tourism, as many foreign visitors do not follow local etiquette. Tourists have been blocking roads and trespassing on private property for photos. In response, community outreach organization Otaru Next 100 is creating humorous, multilingual posters featuring ninja to educate visitors on proper behavior. So far, 3 posters have been made, with more planned to promote considerate actions for those enjoying the city. Japan's tourism is booming, benefiting the economy but straining infrastructure. Starting July 2025, a dual pricing system, common in some countries, will charge foreign tourists more than locals for services. Hokkaido ski destination Niseko Resorts, for example, will charge a daily fee of 6,500 yen for non-resident visitors, compared to 5,000 yen for residents. This policy has sparked debate about fairness and funding maintenance, with over 60% of Japanese supporting it. Experts advise careful implementation to avoid deterring some visitors. Japan also plans to ease crowd pressures by promoting more rural areas. Travelers should stay updated on potential cost changes as July approaches. The Japanese government is surveying public health insurance use by foreign residents and foreign visitors due to concerns that some may be taking advantage of Japan's medical system. This is the first study by the Ministry of Health on insurance premiums and benefits for foreigners, with results expected by summer. All residents must enroll in insurance, with nearly 1 million foreign nationals participating. Politicians are concerned about potential misuse of the system for treatments, such as by visitors who receive expensive treatments but do not pay premiums to the system. Japan's population has decreased for the 14th consecutive year, with seniors making up the largest share. As of October 1st last year, the population was 124 million, a slight decline of 0.44%. Those aged 65 or older represented 29.3% of the population, and those 75 or older made up 16.8%, both record highs. There were 13.8 million people aged 15 or younger, the lowest on record, while working-age individuals accounted for 59.6%. Of the Tokyo and surrounding prefectures, which make up nearly 30% of Japan's population, only Tokyo and Saitama saw population increases. Japan has changed its agriculture policy to significantly increase rice exports in the next 5 years due to rising domestic prices. The Agriculture Ministry aims to export 353,000 tons of rice, including pre-cooked products, by 2030, a 7.5-fold increase from now. This plan is to encourage farmers to grow more rice, helping with local supply issues. Additionally, the 5-year plan focuses on enhancing food and beverage spending from the growing number of foreign visitors, with expectations of revenue rising to over $30 billion. The ministry also sees potential for Japanese restaurants and food producers abroad, anticipating their earnings to grow to around $20 billion. A Spirits Producers Association wants to make its standards for Japanese whiskey legally binding to protect brands that are made in Japan. Daisuke Tsukahara of the Japan Spirits and Liquors Makers Association stated this is key for gaining global trust. They plan to request legislation to enforce specific quality standards requiring Japanese water and 3 years of maturation in Japan. The association has also introduced a new logo featuring the letters JW for compliant products. A survey found that 20% of whiskeys labeled as Japanese whiskey in New York and Los Angeles did not meet these standards. Nissan's new president, 46-year-old Ivan Espinosa, may represent change, but his past role as head of product planning raises concerns about his ability to improve the brand's appeal. Nissan has simply not developed strong selling models in recent years. Espinosa was promoted by the board after discussions to revive the company, viewed as the most suitable candidate due to his experience and understanding of Nissan, underscored by his leadership roles across various regions. Still, there is some doubt that he can successfully lead Nissan's recovery. The coming months will tell. Dating app operators in Japan have been hesitant to require users to prove they are single, despite an increase in cases where individuals falsely claim to be single, and amid concerns about romance fraud. While government matchmaking services require a single status certificate for registration, private dating apps often rely on users' self-reporting. Victims of deception are pushing for stricter verification processes. App operators fear that making certificate submission mandatory could drive users to non-restrictive options, and obtaining certificates from local governments can be cumbersome, which affects user retention. A recent survey showed that 50% of respondents supported mandatory submission. A survey by U.S. research firm STR reports that hotel room rates in Tokyo are at their highest since 1996. Room rates fell by 20 to 30% during the pandemic years of 2020 and 2021, and have sharply risen since 2022 as the effects of the coronavirus pandemic lessened. In 2024, the average hotel price in Tokyo was 26,433 yen, or about $185, which is 26% higher than in 2019. This has been driven by increased foreign tourism and strong demand from domestic Japanese travelers. Japan's digital agency announced it mistakenly suspended about 20,000 bank accounts registered under the My Number identification system for state benefits. This happened due to incorrect information from a credit union association, which reported the accounts were invalid. Restoration work on affected accounts is in progress. People can link their bank accounts to their My Number IDs for benefits like pensions and child support, but ever since the system was imposed on the nation in 2016, There have been issues with personal data leaks and registration errors. On April 18th, the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force shared an image of its railgun mounted on a test ship JS Asuka. Early challenges focused on damage caused by high electrical currents and barrel wear, which was addressed by using alternate materials. Following the first test firing in 2023, research is now focused on creating a complete system with stable projectiles and advanced fire control. Development of a more reliable power source is leading to miniaturizing power supplies, critical on ships where space is highly limited. Japan is working with other nations to further its technology, including an engineer exchange program with France. Japan's Economic Revitalization Minister Ryosei Akazawa met President Trump and other officials at the White House on Wednesday. The United States requested trade revisions from Japan during tariff negotiations, affecting cars and agricultural products in their bid to reduce trade barriers. The U.S. raised concerns about Japan's car safety standards as barriers to American cars and noted agricultural products like rice and meat as points of interest. Following the meeting, Akazawa surprised Trump with a gift, a gold piggy bank in the form of the World Expo mascot Myaku Myaku, now underway in Osaka. Almost 2 million metric tons of plastic waste enter the oceans each year, leading to microplastics that infiltrate the food chain and human bodies. In response, researchers in Japan have created a new material called transparent paperboard, TPB, which is strong, clear, and degrades in less than a year in the ocean. This paperboard can hold boiling water and is fully recyclable. As plastic production rises, sustainable alternatives like TPB aim to help lessen pollution and promote healthier ecosystems. The research paper is published in the journal Scientific Advisor. A researcher from Japan, Professor Junichi Nakajima of the Institute of Science Tokyo, believes that an underground mountain below Tokyo Bay is causing frequent earthquakes in the Kanto region. His analysis of around 8,000 earthquakes shows they occur in a circular pattern at a depth of 60 to 70 kilometers. He suspects a subducted seamount is causing tension and triggering these earthquakes. Nakajima related his analysis to the 1894 Meiji Tokyo earthquake, which had a magnitude of 7. He aims to further study seismic activity to better predict future earthquakes in the area. The Chinese embassy in Japan issued a safety advisory on Thursday for Chinese citizens, especially tourists, urging them to take extra safety precautions and focus on personal and food hygiene. The advisory referenced a rise in violent crimes, including murders targeting young women, and other incidents like theft and fraud affecting Chinese nationals. It also mentioned food hygiene issues where people contracted norovirus after eating contaminated food in several cities, leading to serious health symptoms and some fatalities. The embassy suggested that citizens report any safety concerns to local police and seek assistance from the Chinese embassy or consulates. Japanese astronaut Takuya Onishi has taken command of the International Space Station, making him the third Japanese person to do so. He arrived on March 16th with 3 crew members for a 6-month mission. During a ceremony, his predecessor, Alexei Ovchinin, symbolically handed him the key to the space station. Onishi believes his leadership posting is a recognition of Japan's contributions to space exploration and the international community's expectations for Japan's future role. The ISS commander's primary role is to ensure crew safety and mission success. Onishi follows Koichi Wakata and Akihiko Hoshide, who served as commanders in 2014 and 2021. On Friday, Ukraine's finance ministry announced that Japan will give Ukraine a loan of about $3 billion using frozen Russian assets. This loan will help with Ukraine's budget and reconstruction for 30 years and will be repaid with future profits from these assets. Japan has already supported Ukraine with over $8.5 billion in recent years. G7 leaders agreed to use interest from frozen Russian assets to allocate $50 billion to Ukraine, with the US insisting on guarantees from the EU for repayment. In October, G7 approved a $50 billion loan, and the US announced a $20 billion loan, while the EU will provide up to $35 billion. That brings us to the end of news items for the week ending April 19th. These stories and more you can read at theTokyoBill.com. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.